Welcome back to another video. For this project, I'll be in my basement shop. It's winter, so this is going to be the easiest place to work. I hope to take all of this and turn it into this. If you've seen our other videos about our treehouse we just finished up in northern Minnesota, these materials might look familiar. They're all leftovers from that project, and I'll just give you a little bit of a review for what materials are left for this project. I have a few bundles of cedar shingles. I have a few scraps of cedar tongue and groove. This was the interior for the treehouse. I have scraps of cedar bevel siding. This was the exterior for the treehouse. I have miscellaneous 1-inch thick lumber. This is also cedar. A few pieces of shiplap. This was the finished ceiling inside the treehouse. Some other miscellaneous trim. And I have a few pieces of thermally modified oak. And this was the flooring inside the treehouse. So hopefully this will be enough to get us to finish the project. I'm going to be using a design that is taken from the internet and adapted. This one is from the Cornell Lab Nest Watch, a really great resource. I've taken a first attempt to sketch the first box that will have exterior walls made from scrap cedar bevel siding. And from there, I'll make a few changes based on other designs I have seen in videos, like this one, where the box has a large branch added as a perch. And I've also seen this style of perch on the Cornell Lab Owl Nest Cam videos. This build started with a frame made with cedar trim that was ripped down into approximately 1-inch by 1-inch pieces. Some of the corners were reinforced with metal angle brackets for added strength. I'm sure the original design using plywood sheets would have been faster and easier to build, so that is definitely a good option if you want to make your own. I was intentionally working with the scraps that I had available. It was also nice that the box will be made from all untreated wood. If owls find it and use it, I'm sure it will last for many years. The frame was angled at the top for a roof pitch of about 20 degrees. Once the frame was complete, I got started on the bevel siding to cover the 4 sides. I used a staple gun with stainless steel crown staples, which were 1/4 inch wide. They really seemed to hold fine, and I wasn't having any problems with wood splitting. This was the first and maybe the last time I attempted mitered corners on this kind of siding. This means each piece was installed at an angle since it overlaps the piece below it, and it also has matching 45-degree corners. The cuts were not perfect, but I don't think anyone will notice once it's 15 feet up in a tree. opening on the side will be future access for cleaning the nest bedding material if it is used. I thought about using some kind of latch so access would be tool-free, but in the end I just added some wood screws to hold the cover panel in place. I would need to remove these screws while on a ladder, but if it bothers me enough, I can always change this later. I've seen a lot of different shapes and sizes shown on nest box designs for the front door. I really don't know what is best, but I know that nest cam videos where there are at least 2 baby owls often show both owls looking out the door at the same time. So I didn't want it to be too small. I started with a pilot hole drilled in a corner, then used the jigsaw for the rest of the cut. It ended up being a 7-inch wide door size, similar to what I saw online, with a squared off bottom. I wandered around a wooded park that's very close to our house looking for a couple of branches, and I think these 2 will work just fine. They're attached to the sides of the nest box using galvanized bolts. Owl box number 1 is now basically complete. This is the box that's using leftover cedar bevel siding, and the roof is a remnant of the thermally modified oak flooring. The dimensions are essentially pulled from designs on the internet. The designs don't necessarily show this style of a perch from branches. However, this is what I've seen on some nest cams that have gotten use, and it looks like it would make sense for something that owls might be looking for. It definitely shows that baby owls, as they're fledging, like to climb things. So this gives access to the tree and to the roof, and so hopefully they like it. So this is 1 down, hopefully 1 more to go. The pile of scrap wood is now much smaller, but I am hopeful that we are close enough we can finish the second one, maybe with a little purchased wood if we need it. Okay, so on with the next one. The second owl box is also now complete. I'm very excited. I think they look great together. This one is a combination of the cedar tongue and groove and also the cedar shingles. There wasn't enough of either material to go around all four sides, but I think this is a really nice combination. If anyone has a favorite, I would love to hear that in the comments, or if you have a prediction, which one you think might get used first by owls. I really have no idea, but it'll be interesting to see. We'll be heading up this weekend, and if all goes well, we will find homes for both of these, and I'll take you along to show how we get them up in the trees. At this time last year, this area had about 2 feet of snow on the ground, so I can't complain, but it was still a challenge to reach areas I thought would be good sites. Most of the flat ground would be close to structures, so to stay away from people, I thought sites on the ravine slope would be better. Maybe that's not true, but we'll have a chance to find out. We have heard barred owls call from near our treehouse. I don't know how close they nest, but what I read is that they nest in the same area over time. I don't think our property is big enough for more than one nesting pair, but if there are 2 boxes, then owls would be able to choose the better site on their own. It was a challenge getting the box into place. I wanted to try using only ropes to secure it to the tree. I wasn't completely happy because it still may wobble too much, but I can make improvements later. It is installed in an area that can be seen from a distance, but it is definitely not easy to approach on foot. I had hoped to get both boxes in place that day, but we ran out of time. I'll be back to work on the second box later. I don't know what the chances are that owls find it this year, but at least we've gotten a start. If you made it to the end of the video, you get to see these 2 bonus birdhouses. After building the owl boxes, I only had a few feet left of the scrap wood. It was just enough to make these 2 boxes that are small sized for chickadees, which we hope will make a home for themselves and we can watch them up from our property. They also have some nice bling. I'm not sure exactly what the original use was, but we have a few sheets of copper that have been in a box for about 10 years. So I thought this was as good of a reason to use them as any. So I rolled the edges here so that they would not be sharp and fashioned them into some makeshift shingles. So I'm happy with these and I look forward to getting them up at the property and watching to see if we have any birds make nests in them. If we do, I'll definitely post an update in a future video. So thanks for watching.